This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey, I'm running out to drop off a stack of letters and packages. Need anything shipped while I'm gone?
Save the gas. Stamps.com lets you print postage and schedule pickups right from your desk. Sync your contacts into the address book, get detailed accounting insights, and get notified the moment your certified mail is delivered.
All from my desk?
All from your desk.
Join the 4 million businesses using Stamps.com right now with code PODCAST and get your free welcome gift. Stamps.com, code PODCAST. Taxes and fees apply.
Well, hello, this is Mark from the Swamp School. I want to welcome you to another broadcast of our Wetland Wednesday podcast program. Today is the first Wednesday of February, and it is kind of an exciting time. We had a big celebration yesterday. It was International Wetlands Day yesterday, and that was exciting. It was also Groundhog's Day, and I'm not really sure, depending on where you were, a lot of variation. I don't think Punxsutawney up in Pennsylvania, I think it had like 3 feet of snow up there, so getting out was a bit of a challenge for old Punxsutawney, but at any rate, it is what it is. We are looking at a couple of things this session. We're dealing with the kind of what if scenarios with the president, and what is the potential changes that are coming up as a result of the new administration's policy on wetlands. Chief among these is the Navigable Water Rule. And what's going on with the Navigable Water Rule? Well, right now, there's been a lot of discussions. There've been a few publications on some kind of policy initiatives, but there's a big stumbling block to doing anything quickly, and that is that the regulation, the Navigable Waters Protection Rule, is in place. It's been in effect for many months now, almost a year, maybe 9 months or so. And it is not going anywhere anytime soon. It would be very difficult to just turn it off. You can't really just turn it off. There have been some initiatives from states to kind of take over programs, and even that is kind of suspect as to whether that's going to continue. Florida, of course, is moving forward, but beyond that, we're not really sure what's going to happen. So that's not really a priority in this administration to do that. But the Nav Water Rule is likely to be dealt with over the next 4 years, and so we need to kind of pay attention to it. There's going to be some changes, and more than likely there's going to be some kind of local interpretations, which is going to become an interesting time, and I think the lawyer is going to be making a lot of money on this, because you get into the issue of what's legally a wetland or a jurisdictional water body, whether it be a wetland or not, and what's legally not, and there's not a lot of clarification there. And because the policy of the EPA and the Army Corps is going to shift with the administration, they're not going to be real happy with defining things as the previous administration did. So lots of changes there, but it is extremely difficult to untangle a regulation once it's gone into effect, and that's been the biggest challenge with this one. So to undo it, it's going to require a new regulation. And there has also been a discussion at the congressional level as to whether or not, rather than doing this as essentially a regulation, an executive order is not going to work. It's got to be a regulation change, or a congressional basically passing a law. Really, what it comes down to is a modification of the Clean Water Act to define what is a waters of the United States. This has been suggested in the Rapanos case in 2006. By the justices, that Congress should have done what it did in the first place, which was to provide a reasonably and clear definition of what is jurisdictional and what is not. But they've never done that, so here we are. So to that end, we are still in that quandary, and we don't expect that to change a whole lot. There's been some discussion on what kind of guidance documents the Corps is going to be putting out and so forth. And again, they're kind of working cross purposes to even do that. So to that end, we just have to kind of pay attention. Now, the other thing that came out of it, though, which I think is going to persist no matter what, and that's why we made some investment in this, is the concept of the antecedent precipitation tool. And we have published an antecedent precipitation tool for the purposes of putting this out on the cloud. And we've got a really, really cool tool, and we've got a nice trial. You can try it out. It is the exact same tool as the Army Corps of Engineers publishes, but it is nowhere near the level of effort to install, run, and maintain, and also access, because the running it is as much of a challenge as installing it. It's a great tool, but very difficult due to all the security and cybersecurity issues that your company may run into. So we've put it out on the cloud. It is a great tool. We offer you a 7-day free trial, and it's basically a monthly subscription, cancel anytime, all that kind of stuff. So highly encourage you to check that out, and it's a lot of fun to play with. So just visit our site at swampschool.org, and you will see it. And with that, I think that's all the news for the beginning part of the month. And if there's anything else that comes up, we will be publishing this podcast on a fairly regular basis, just not a regular basis. It's kind of randomly, but we tend to do it on Wednesdays. So with that, I wish you a great day, and I hope to see you in the swamp. Take care.